We're live.
Cool.
Okay, it's 5:30. We're gonna go over our agenda for March 17th, 2026.
Good.
So we have 5 resolutions and 1 consent. So, first one is Resolution 2526-159, adopting the minutes from the last common council meeting. Any questions or comments? Resolution 2526-160, resolution strongly urging immediate review of the electric delivery charges, demanding improved cost controls and transparency, and authorizing formal complaints to the New York State Public Service Commission regarding the escalating cost of electricity. Alderman Carpenter.
I'm just going to read something because it's much easier to say it. Supporting the town of Cincinnati in calling for an investigation into National Grid is about standing up for our residents and demanding transparency in how energy costs are calculated. Across our communities, we are seeing a troubling pattern. Delivery charges that in some cases exceed the actual cost of the energy being used. That raises serious questions about fairness, accountability, and whether ratepayers are being burdened with unjustified costs. For families already struggling with rising expenses, these bills are not just numbers. They impact their ability to heat their homes, run their businesses, and make ends meet. An investigation is not about assigning blame. It's about ensuring that the system is working as it's intended, the charges are justified, and the residents are being treated fairly. By supporting this effort, we join a growing number of municipalities advocating for answers, transparency, and relief for the people we serve. It's our responsibility to ask the hard questions and to stand with our community when costs don't make sense. I know that Assemblyman Santa Barbara, along with other assemblymen, are calling for an investigation into the New York State Electric and Gas. We see it here in our own community with, sometimes we see it in our own city where we have municipality built or businesses that are paying, in some cases, the fees are higher than the actual cost of the bill. I mean, Clubhouse being one of the big ones, when you see it like that. And I think that this is a way for us to acknowledge the situation for our residents and to say that we care about the struggles that they're going through.
Thank you.
And I ask for, well, forget you. And I ask you to support this legislation, so
It's great.
with it.
The only issue that I would have is the last resolved on the first page where we would be directed to submit formal complaints, written comments, and supporting documentation from citizens, correct? So that would be going to our clerk's office, and that would create a routine where if you receive something, you'd have to send it to somebody, correct? And I think that may not be something that we want to get. I'm in total support of the message of this resolution. I would definitely be in favor of it. The only question I have is, can we eliminate that, be it further resolved that
Sure.
the citizens would, we would be, I think what we can do is provide citizens with the information they need to submit it by, directly. But I would hate to all of a sudden, and
Can we eliminate this?
Can we amend it to
Section
eliminate
completely.
Make an amendment to strike.
To strike this section.
The last,
So
the
this will be
last
the
paragraph.
The second to last, the final one is.
final one on the first page.
The
Yeah.
final one on the first page,
yes.
But then the next one where you would transmit copy of this resolution to the Public Services Commission.
So it's the second thing.
Yeah, and constituents can file complaints with the Public Service Commission directly online or over the phone.
Sure.
No, this is very good, Chris.
I
Very important.
total support of it.
Mhm.
I'll make that amendment. When it comes.
Okay.
Yep, thank you.
Resolution 2526-161, resolution authorizing request for proposals for the concierge services at Veterans Park.
Yeah, so essentially it's the gentleman last year who had the pop-up at the park for those several months between May and September, we're opening up the bid again. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I just found out today that he's got a restaurant
Yes.
on Market Street. Is that what it is?
Main
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 Street.
Street.
Main Street.
Well, you still,
So it's gonna be someone new. So yeah.
you still have to submit it.
We hope.
You got here, it says the concessionaire has until July 1. Submit it to the city clerk prior to July 1. Concession.
I think it's timed, again, the rec department put this together, I'm thinking it's timed for the opening of the swimming pool.
Sure.
Well, May,
Is that what you're asking?
it says here in the beginning, it says in the beginning, May 21st. That's when it's gonna be open. But you got until July to put a submission in.
Well, then that's a mistake.
No, they have till 3 PM on April 10th. It's on the second page
Where
of
where
the
the,
RFP, or the third page of the RFP
Okay,
proposal.
I'm looking, okay.
okay. Where is it, Stacy?
Last paragraph, Jim, on the.
On the RFP.
Last paragraph on the RFP.
Oh, last paragraph on the RFP, that's
The
right.
proposal should be submitted by
Okay.
3 PM on April 10th.
There you go. Thank you then. No problem. Thank you.
Okay,
Oh, but I do see your
It's-
July 1st, that's the
Is it a
required,
contradiction?
that's an insurance requirement prior to July 1st of each year, or the no, that's a,
doesn't
Yeah,
make
no,
sense.
you're right.
Yeah, that's
You're right.
fine.
You're right, Kelly.
yeah,
You gotta have your insurance in
that's under
after.
the insurance policy.
Does it make
portion.
sense or does it need to be changed, please? I still can't find it.
It looks great to me.
Under this disability insurance benefit,
You might wanna read
that's
that.
where it says, but I don't know if we normally say July 1st because that's on our fiscal year,
Okay.
if that's a fiscal year
These
date.
requirements at least must be submitted to city clerk prior to July 1st of each year for the commencement of operations.
So in other words,
So the commencement of operations would be the earlier date, if that's what you're thinking?
no, I'm thinking of this, see, he's gonna be open from May 21st
Yes,
through May 30th,
yes.
but he doesn't need an insurance policy until July 1.
No, it said July 1st of each year or the commencement of operations, which means.
Which would be May.
Well, yeah,
Which would be May.
Okay. Oh, you're
Right.
covered, you're covered, okay, sure,
whichever is earliest,
okay,
okay?
Easy peasy.
perfect.
Any questions, guys, on that, other than this? Okay, thank you.
Okay, resolution 2526-162, resolution referring the 2026 comprehensive plan update to the city planning commission and Montgomery County Planning Board and declaring intent to act as lead agency under secret.
Dan Gray was supposed to be here tonight and he had a situation, a personal situation with his family, but, he didn't brief me on this, but again, we had the meeting on the comprehensive plan. And this is part of the process of getting it approved. There have been a couple of issues regarding the plan that we are checking into, and I was hoping Dan would be here to address those. For one example, we are having the plan translated into Spanish, so that'll be made available in the Spanish language. What do you got there? Oh, thank you. But unfortunately, Dan was not able to make it to the meeting tonight. So if you have any questions specifically, I can see if I can answer them.
This is just for the seeker
Yeah.
component.
No questions? Okay. Resolution 2526-163, resolution approving the audit. And the audit is fine. Any questions? Okay. We have one consent, 2526-164. Resolution budget transfer clerk's office for computer. Alderman Marcel.
If you look at the last whereas clause, where the city's budget, clerk's budget has enough funds to cover this cost. However, there needs to be a transfer to move funds from the contractual expense line to equipment. That's what we're doing. We're gonna move it to the equipment line now. Okay? We're gonna go back to Dan if you like.
Okay.
But
Daniel?
that's what this is about, we're just moving it, okay? Because she needs a little extra, because when Marvin and the city clerk went over it, they needed an extra money, so did this transfer, am I right?
Yes, yeah, the price went up
I think, is
crazy.
Okay, so
that okay?
Oh, yeah, yeah, just the price going up is,
Right,
I mean, we all know why the price went up.
go ahead.
Okay, so Dan came back, so you can speak about the rest.
Dan, did you want to say anything about the secret? for the-
I mean, I certainly didn't answer any questions. So this is the first step of the process. The second step, a couple weeks ago, we had a meeting with the committee and did a public meeting where we invited the public to come look at the comp plan. There's been edits and recommendations that made. We're gonna be starting to incorporate those into the plan. The next step for us is for the council to recommend it to the city planning commission and the county planning commission to review it. Once they review it, they'll send it back to you guys with their recommendation. We will have a public hearing on it, and then you guys will vote to adopt it or not.
And Dan, I informed the council that you are making an effort now to get the plan presented in Spanish language as well, correct?
Yes, we're trying to figure, I mean, it's a 250-page document, it's pretty technical, so we're figuring out how.
You haven't heard from Colliers yet, but,
I haven't heard, they haven't given me a price of what it would cost yet, no.
okay.
But we're working through, trying to figure out how to get the old end product in English and Spanish.
How was the turnout at the public meeting?
It was pretty good. I think there was
thought it was
50
great.
people or somewhere around there, I'd
It's a
say.
full room.
Yeah,
So it was impressive.
Good.
There's a lot of different people from the community that showed up too. It wasn't only the usual suspects, so which was heartening.
that is good.
Any other questions for Dan? Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. Okay. That is the end of our resolution. Kelly, do you want to talk about Safe Street?
Sure, so the first working group session is gonna be tomorrow at 1:00. The group got a Zoom link, we can do it primarily, I was planning on everyone just doing it via Zoom from their desks. And I'd like to have it posted on YouTube afterwards so that it would be public, since we will have, various members of the council and everything there. So people will be able to see that and comment on it if they want to. And so, yeah, the agenda went out where we're just gonna pretty much spitball a list of all the ideas we have for all the tools that we either have or wish we had, and then go through them and see like, okay, what do we have now? What do we think we would like in the future? Which ones need money? Which ones need legislation? Which ones need more research? And kind of assign them out there and then see what we're working with and be able to add to it over time and start applying them. So that's the plan for that.
Any other committee reports?
There's a golf commission meeting tomorrow at 5:00 in the Common Council chambers here. The public is invited to attend. Any council members like to attend. If there's more than 3 of us, let me know. We'll do something about it.
I will not be able to make that meeting because I have another meeting someplace else, so if anybody wants to jump in where I normally am, then.
But it's open to the public. 5:00, golf commission meeting. And that's what we're gonna discuss. Most of everything has been updated. Megan's been in contact with the mayor and I, the engineer, and mostly everything is complete. I know that they started to empty out the old pro shop. They're gonna clean it out, and this year, that's where the pro shop is gonna be, where the old one used to be.
Nice.
So they're starting to clean that out. They have the bathrooms already in use. A couple things need to be replaced. We need to do something about the sewer pump up there and the parts that are being ordered. But everything other than that, we're moving the outside equipment, patio equipment in, and we'll have more tomorrow after tomorrow night's meeting.
Joe was up there working today for a couple hours trying to clean it up.
That'd be good. They'll have more merchandise and golf balls and equipment
Yes,
again.
thank you.
The next recreation commission meeting is this coming Monday, I believe at 5:00. And that'll be on live as well.
Thank you. All right. Award updates or special projects going on?
We met with, I met with CDTA representatives and Labella representatives with the businesses at Five Corners. We clarified a lot of the misconceptions out there, and they seem to be, CDTA is willing to adjust their construction plan. It's just a plan, it's not a blueprint. And they listened to the the business owners. They were very respectful to them. It went very well. And it seems like everybody went happy. Further to come when I.
That's great.
Great, thank you very much.
And two other things, we met yesterday, the mayor, Chris and I met with Ibero, Dash Central Civico about the needs of the people in the Fifth Ward and what needs to be done, contacts. We went over various issues. We met the individuals from Rochester and we went over certain things in the city of Amsterdam. And then tomorrow, from 4 to 6, we're meeting also, I think, where's that? Here or?
It's a Central Civic.
Central Civico, we're meeting tomorrow, very important meeting tomorrow, 4 to 6, about the repaving of Main Street in the East End. The State Department of DOT is gonna be there, and they're gonna talk about the street paving. And I know a lot of things have been done last year, right, Mike? We put the water line in, the sewer line in, and so now they're ready for paving.
Yeah, we did quite a bit of that, part of one of the reasons.
But they're not gonna
DOT
pave,
wants to have that public meeting is because, there's gonna be some changes to curb lines, so there'll be some short-term impacts, but
but it's not gonna be this year.
Oh,
They're
no.
not gonna pave it this year. They're gonna pave it 27. So, but they're gonna give us an update about the east end and the paving, which is good news because between that street and Market Street and Church Street, 3 of the most very popular streets. A lot of questions are being asked.
Are they gonna add better sidewalks on Main Street, you think?
That's what they're gonna talk about.
Oh, okay.
Mike, are they gonna start the Schuyler Street by Dr. Rao's office project this year? I know they're doing the paving next year,
that's
but,
the plan, yes.
so they would do it this year and then that's why they're not doing the other one until next year because
Yeah.
it would just get torn up.
Well,
I have
you have
another-
a conflict with the two projects meet.
I have another question for you. Is that gonna be discussed tomorrow, opening up Schuyler Street?
I don't think they're planning on opening up Schuyler Street. They're talking about the other side of East Main, the south side towards the tracks, making that two-way.
So how it's one way in front of Dr. Rao's, it's gonna be a two-way again.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. All
That,
right.
that's a little separate too from, that project's a little separate from the DOT project. DOT is doing, they're probably gonna be talking about Route 5, because that's their project, the Schuyler Street is our project.
Schuyler Street is your project? then?
Yeah, that's our project.
Are they still gonna open that up?
They're not gonna open up the north side, they're gonna take the south side and make it a two-way.
South side made it 2-way, so the part
Between
that,
Stewart's and Dr. Rao's office.
they're gonna make that a 2-way.
Correct.
2-way.
Well, and the reason for that is because long-term, there's still a project that's out there to abandon the arterial section, and you can't do that without that piece of Schuyler being two ways, or you'd never be able to get down to those offices.
That's step one of the project.
Correct.
I'm trying to picture this 2-way.
Yeah.
Trying to
Step
picture
one,
this.
it's to say you get the front street.
Yeah, oh, so you get 2-way,
Two
So you
ways.
can take a
Yeah,
right-
Because once they
go
close the
right back
arterial
down
down,
like
once they
the old
close the
days.
arterial down, you won't be able to do that. They're gonna widen the bridge, right? The widen the bridge project?
Coming off, they're gonna have a third lane coming off.
Right.
The concept is to abandon that ramp eastbound.
Right.
And remove it and abandon the arterial
And then
formally.
abandon the arterial.
But in order to do
That's gonna
that, you
take
gotta
longer
make
to
it
get
counter
done.
two-way.
you want me to send you more pictures?
I'm sorry, Jim, I can't do this, but yeah, that's the 1, 2, 3.
No, I'm gonna. No problem.
Okay,
Thank you. That's it, Mayor, for me. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Okay, Mayor,
We can.
That's
what do we
our
got?
agenda.
We got a few minutes, so
10 minutes.
we can let Stace do hers, or we can, Mike, do yours. What's up?
Ladies first, man, right?
so
Go ahead,
Stacy
go
first,
ahead.
Stacy.
Go ahead.
Ladies ladies before
All
John.
right. so the clerk's report for what we did in February, birth certificates, we printed 144, which is down by 24 from 2025. Death certificates, we printed 84, which was down 52 from 2025. That's a good thing, I guess, overall.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Dog licenses, we were down by 6, we went from 23 to 29. And marriage certificates, we were down by 17 from 8 to 25. And I just want to let you know, this is not something that we're surprised with. Last year with the new flying regulations and everybody having to have their birth certificate and their marriage certificate. So that generated a lot of what we did last year. So that's why we anticipated this decline for 2026. So for February, new births, there were 23 new births. There were 20 new deaths. There were 6 new dog licenses and 6 couples came in for their marriage licenses. We processed 70 foils. 13 of those were accident reports, 25 were police incident reports, 3 were miscellaneous items, and 29 were property inquiries. I had 25 notary requests. And then the handicap placards were a total of 43, 36 were permanent, and 7 of those 43 were temporary. Then also, even though we've been slower with printing stuff, we have been busy entering the marriages and births from previous years into BAS, which is where we print a lot of stuff from. So from births, we're working on 1960 backwards. Everything forward from 1960 looks to be already entered in. And then marriages, we're working from 2008 backwards because everything from then forward looks to be entered into BAS. So it'll make it quicker for us instead of running to the record room to get the information. It'll already be in BAS, which is the program we use, and we can print them quicker for the residents.
Cool,
That's
thank you,
it.
Stace.
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Wonderful work.
Thank you for spending your time on that Saturday doing dog licenses with
Yes,
the
thank you.
Kitten Rescue and the SPCA, or I don't know.
Yes, it was Montgomery County Department of Health that did that,
Okay.
and we brought in 15 licenses that day. So it was exciting. It was great. I
Yeah.
enjoyed
You got to
it.
see a lot of dogs.
I did. I had a basset that climbed right up into my lap, and it was wonderful.
Aw.
He picked you. He said, you
Was
need
he
to take me home.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
you're
was
the one.
licensed.
You're the one.
What was that?
You're the one. You had
He
to take
picked
him
you.
home. He
Um,
picked you.
no, I don't think his mother would have let me take him home. She did let me. She said, "Can you watch him for a few minutes?" I said, "Absolutely, I will." So that's all I have.
Okay.
We could let Mike, does anybody in the council have anything else to talk about? Because I'll let Mike do the engineering report and see how far we can get. I don't think it should take you too long, Michael.
I'll be brief, Mayor.
No,
Thank
you
you.
have to be brief, that's what I'm saying. Take as much time as you need, we can.
So I see a list passed around on streets by ward that everybody has. If you have not already, please get me your wish list for that. We've estimated everything that we have by the street. And I plan to bring that list to the council at the next meeting. And we'll have to, it's a balancing act, right? Everything's got a dollar amount assigned to it. So just think about it here. We've got 2 or 3 weeks between the next meeting? 3? Anyway, yeah, if you could get that to me, that'd be great. Demolition project, 18 of the 23 have been demolished now. That means we got 5 left to go, and that's not counting the 2 additional properties that we did add to the work of the contract. The one debris pile from that demo building on Edson Street, and I gotta tell you, I don't remember the last one, but.
Second half, right?
Pardon?
Second half?
Second half.
Yes. Yes. And as always, I'll take questions.
Great, thank you, Mike.
Thank you. Good.
I will say personally, all these streets are, all these houses you've demoed there, and Mike, thank you very much.
Yep.
It really makes a big difference.
Well, we got a good contractor.
Yeah. Any questions for the engineer? All right. Anybody want to talk about anything else? We have 2 minutes, can I call the vote, please? I'll probably I can't soon.
Minutes.
Um, Tell a joke? No, go on, tell a joke. Come on. Go on, tell a joke. I'm trying to just figure out what I can talk about.
How was the,
St.
sorry to
Patty's
interrupt.
weekend.
There you go. Come on now.
St. Patty's weekend, how did you enjoy it?
How'd it go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very good. I mean, 20 establishments, a lot of people showed up. Everybody seemed to have a good time. It was just a really nice day for a lot of people. I made 6 of them, and everyone I went into, everybody was happy with it, the proprietors and also the patrons. It was just a very, very busy day for a lot of small establishments in our city, and went very, very well. Congratulations to the Amsterdam High School basketball team. They're playing on Friday in the regionals in Binghamton. If they win on Friday, I think they play again on Sunday, the championship. And I went to see them play in Glens Falls, and it was not Glens Falls, Hudson Valley. It was a fantastic game. This team is for real. So rooting them on if you can, please do so.
That's great.
And so why don't we stand for our pledge? Meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Here.
Alderman Holliday.
Here?
Alderwoman Collins.
Here.
Alderman Carpenter.
Here.
Alderman Marticello.
Here,
Motion to accept the agenda?
Motion to accept the agenda with 5 resolutions and 1 consent.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter. Alderman Marticello.
aye,
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Okay, we have no proclamations this evening or communications and presentations. So tonight, if any member of the public would like to speak to the council, please approach the podium, state your name, address, and you'll have 5 minutes to talk to us today.
John Archett with 12 by 18 Austin Street.
Good to see you,
48 years
Jack.
ago today, I got my only tattoo. Now,
How many years ago?
48 years ago today. I gotta go back a little bit. On Halloween night, Mayor, Crossroads has, they give out candy. It's a drive-through.
Yep.
My understanding that night, right in our area, I was told that a child got hit by a car. Now, it's pretty tough at 6 o'clock at night to see these kids. I think that the city should have a certain place where you can bring your child or grandchild to get candy instead of having to go door to door because the cars can't see, how dark it is between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock. So I thought maybe you can check into that. I'm not against Halloween. I just think that you should have a place where you can bring the kid. Lawns. We hired a person or a company to take care of our lawns. We have the dilapidated homes knocking down. Wouldn't it be cheaper if we put on some kind of cement or, along that way? There's a lot of places that I noticed in the town of Amsterdam, they don't have grass, so, I think it would have been cheaper to do that. And you're talking about a lot of this land that is not going to be sold. You're not going to buy a vacant lot and build a house anymore. That's not going to happen. We need the housing like we got down on East Main Street. So if we take these properties and we put some kind of asphalt on it, then if somebody wants it, I think it would be cheaper that way and last longer. And then and if somebody wanted to buy it, you can build a house on, a cemented type of ground. I think that would be better. Another thing is, we're getting ready for tax time. I don't know if you were talking about the taxes. We get our tax bill in July. If you go around the corner, Mayor, more and more because of the prices of food, gas, and utilities and stuff. By the way, there's a Roy Christian. He gives the okay when the cable goes up and the National Grid. He's the head of the Public Service Commission. I watch a lot of these meetings. I got a lot of time on my hands. So he's the one that gives the final okay, Roy Christian. And he always gives whatever they want, they seem to give it out. So, he's one to look at. But these food pantries are very well needed. And, like I said, Crossroads was involved in it. Time for Truth Ministries was involved in it. And, but it's, you know, you bring up a bunch of food the following day or even that day. I brought over some food, that Time for Truth Ministries had. When I went over, that was on a Sunday. Monday, before 7 o'clock, it was all gone. And they had 4 cabinets full, plus you got the refrigerator that's out there. So you know that people are hitting the pits. So sooner or later, we got to actually try to do something really to help the people out, because it's not a good sign, Mayor, to have all these people that are hungry and, you know, in need of food. I think Hannaford and some of these grocery stores actually donate some food instead of having to go in the landfill, the leafy stuff that's not going to last. I don't know, maybe some of this canned goods might be able to last a couple years or something, but something has to be done for that, because it's just too much for the taxpayer. You got people in the city, Mayor, that are getting over $1,000 a month rent, and you know, it's just outrageous. So I think we got to, you know, really do something to help the taxpayer out this year, and that's it.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay.
Next.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council, Chief, Fire Chief, Mr. Clark, Terry Bertucci, Gabriel Contractors, KOV Properties, my daughter, Christy. Got a pretty bad issue up on Cleasby Avenue. 2 Saturdays ago, defending her property, I was approached by this young punk kid, wanted to pick a fight because I threw him out of the yard. He decided not to do it. Last Saturday, this young girl and her boyfriend, her husband, don't know which, pulled in the yard, told them they couldn't park there. Had to park across the street, and threatened us with coming back and blowing our brains out. This is Amsterdam. So we both have carried concealed. That's where we're at. It's a liability issue on that corner. This fella across the street, who supposedly does so much for the community with what he sells, does not care about the businesses on either side of him. He only cares about himself. The area cannot support what he's doing. He's inciting people every weekend, more and more and more people to come down. And they don't care where they're parking. We watch them park on the grass. My daughter's got videos, pictures. The other biggest thing is she's got 15 tenants that she worked damn hard to put in that building. All of them aren't there on a Saturday, maybe half, maybe a little bit more. And her building in almost 7 years on a Saturday was always filled, 3/4 way filled. Now, nobody, because these people are scared to come there because of the traffic of getting in and out. So I guess, I don't know, is he outgrown his spot? That's for him to say. I don't care. He just does not seem to care about, and he didn't even come out the other day. My daughter knew one of the security guards inside, and they came out. He won't pay for a parking lot attendant, which he should have. We're over there on a Saturday when I should be running my paving business, and I'm policing this parking lot. This is wrong. This is wrong. It never was like that, but it is now. And like I said, they just don't care where they park. They pull in the yard and you tell them that they have to move, and they all have an excuse. And it's never a good one. So I have a solution. I'll bring my dump trucks down there on a Saturday, and I'll block off Clisby Avenue right at the corner, and I'll block off the road by First Street, reroute the traffic, and he'll be on the same playing field as my daughter. not making any money. Something has to give. Something has to give. This is not right. This is not right. And he wouldn't even come out the other day. My daughter and I were having a shouting match with this fella, and he wasn't having it. He knew we had our sidearms, and she said, "We have guns too, and we're coming back to blow your brains out." That is unacceptable in this city for a place like that doing what they're doing. Be honest with you, maybe you get a couple good deals over there, but the majority of it's junk, in my opinion. I don't know how anybody else feels, but that's my opinion. And I see this all the time. I see what these people do. They just don't care. They don't care about anything else but get in there and get their deal. And that's the only thing that he cares about. And he's praising everything on social media. He's demonizing my daughter for us not letting them park in her parking lot. Well, if she does that, she'll have no business. And that's not right. She's been there for just about 7 years. So I'll do it. I'll do it. And you gotta handcuff me, take me to jail? Well, you gotta take me to jail. But everybody's telling us, well, if there's a car parked in there, then you gotta tow it. No, not at her expense. They're his cars. They're not hers. And like I said, the people that are paying her tenants, so she can pay her mortgage, they don't want to come to work on a Saturday because they're scared. And if any one of you want to come up there Saturday morning and sit with us, I sit in my vehicle and it's like chaos. They double park on the bottom of Northern Boulevard, and we got pictures of that, and they don't care. I've never seen so many people turn around in the middle of a street in my life. It's ungodly. And the kids walking across the street, not holding their parents' hands. What do you think's going to happen? I don't know, but I have my solution, and if it doesn't get better, real quick, I'll do it. Got to do something. I'm not letting my daughter lose her business over this clown across the street, because it's a circus. And something has to change. We got to do something here. So I'm calling on all you folks that are elected officials, put your heads together and figure something out for this fella. Or you shouldn't have to figure something out for him. You should figure it out himself. There's a building right out in the back here. Why can't you rent that one? Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Christy Bertuzzi, KLB Properties. I know I spoke up here multiple times in regards to the same issue. I know I can be a hothead, and I know I can go and fly off the handle. I honestly am at a loss for words over the last 3 years. I know my initial letter to the mayor was in 2023. And not long after Mr. Slocum got hit and almost died and lost his life, right before Christmas, and was in the middle of the road while I blocked the road off so nobody would hit him while he's laying there. And I called him and I just sobbed. Don't even know the guy like that. Don't even know him like that. But that was one of my main concerns at the time, was how bad it already was getting in that intersection. And I would be more than happy. I have, from the last 3 years, so many videos and pictures and evidence just showing almost little kids being taken out. People, the other day, a grown man was walking across and a guy had no idea. He just missed him. The guy went running down the road after the guy, yelling, screaming, "You didn't see me." Nobody cares. And there's I know I spoke with Chief Spencer yesterday. I know there's only so much in terms of parking that the city can enforce in terms of tickets. I understand that. I understand there's certain sides of the road, and I know last year, or the year before, they made it illegal to park on Todd's side on that corner of Northern Boulevard. But ambulances, I have on film, plow trucks, everything being stuck and not being able to get through that intersection. That's a huge liability. So I guess after this weekend of literally having it on camera that a kid and his girlfriend are still threatening me to come back and blow me up. I'm beyond speechless, I guess. I never thought I would be here in 7 years to even have to tell you guys this or even have to defend a business that I pay taxes for, that I put over $1 million into this building that I don't have, to defend it. Well, the guy across the street doesn't even own the property, doesn't pay taxes, and doesn't give a flying F-U-C-K. And it's all over parking. Just to make it a little more clear, it has gone from obviously death threats, but when I do deny people parking, and we always start off nice. It's not like I'm sitting there going, F you, get out of my lot. We always say, please do not park here. But the towing is not working after 3 years because by the time they get there, of course, somebody moves. And then I have to pay the service total of them just coming out there. The parking lot attendants, whether everybody thinks we're millionaires or not, I don't have the money to pay somebody to stand there and to, patrol my lot. But not only that, I've had tons of instances where I think the first one you guys are aware of, or you're aware of a guy taking a shit out in public on my property during daylight, in front of children, in front of everybody, because he was in line for 6 hours and he couldn't use the restroom. So now when I say no parking in my lot, if somebody's mad at me, seeing as my building is open on Saturdays, they will come over when I'm not looking, or if I'm cleaning certain areas of the building, because it's got to be cleaned. They will shit in one of 6 toilets they'll find or more, and they will smother it everywhere, as if, there you go, take that because I can't park there. And just so everybody knows, I've truly tried everything. Any suggestion anybody has given me, I've followed it through as much as I could. And now it's just like, it's time for me to get the help and us to get the help of the city. We need the backing because nothing is going to change. And now I've been sued by his customers for falling when they didn't even fall. I have them on video, $8,000 for one lawyer just so I could prove that they didn't even belong here and they didn't fall. So I'm at the point now where my only option is I'm going to start suing because I can't, if I got to blow money on something that's not, shouldn't even be my responsibility or shouldn't even be my issue, I'm going to start suing back. But I need help. We need backing because all the conversations I've had with this gentleman, he just says it's his customers and it's not his responsibility. If one of my tenants or their customers was ever doing something like that, they'd either be evicted. They'd be evicted. If their customers were, they wouldn't be allowed back on the property. Actually, these 2 kids, I do believe that they may get their hair done at the building. And I said, there's absolutely no way that they are coming anywhere near the property. So I guess liability-wise, it's safety in the road, it's safety of our lives, which I think are pretty priceless. I know I don't want to die, and I'm not even 40 yet. So I'm asking for help. I'm asking for some sort of resolution, some sort of idea, somewhere to start, so we don't have to keep doing this. Because I don't know. Crying every Saturday is not going to help it. Getting mad and drawing my weapon is not going to help. So I guess I'm just leaving it in your guys' hands. and hoping that something can be done. Alrighty,
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Anyone else from the public like to speak this time?
Hello there, my name is Edwin Vasquez, I live on 92 Brookside, and I guess I'm here as a bit of a reprise to the last time I opened up, or I spoken up this candidly about things happening in Amsterdam. I did attend the public open house for the comprehensive plan, and my overall feelings then pretty much are as concrete now, and that's I am thoroughly disappointed in a large swath of the direction in which Amsterdam is heading, and not so much, the plans and not so much like the plans and like the necessity of like implementing them overall, but all of my issues always come back to two major plot points, and that's participation. Excuse me. That's participation and just access. During the public open house, it was made that the point was made that it's supposed to be like this grand plan of the next 10 years of like the direction of Amsterdam, and quite frankly, I was disappointed with how hard it was for me as just a regular individual, a citizen of Amsterdam, to be able to be in place to participate and have access to, like, my voice my voice being able to reach when and how it needs to. It's disappointing because I got lucky that day. Like, I'm speaking English right now, and I like to think that I'm very eloquent and like to, I like to express myself very, very effectively. But that's coming from like years of, I just know English. I never really practiced English. I just knew it. And if I, by some miracle, didn't understand or speak English, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't have been at the public open house 2 weeks ago. And it's that same feeling of how many times do I have to keep getting lucky in trying to express myself when like all I'm trying to do is just express myself. Like I want to just highlight the concept of participation a little bit, because I'm looking around, and this is as public as it can get. I don't see a lot of the people that I resonate with, or like a lot of people that, I would consider family or my friends. I'm like, I look around and I would say that this room is pretty barren. And I have a feeling that I know the reason why. And I spoke with Mike over the phone not long ago about, after the public house, and it's the same situation of people that can't speak English can't participate. And if people can't participate, what progress and or direction can Amsterdam really be heading in if it's not including every single facet or every single, let's say, dimension of, the public, excuse me, the public, the people that are outside of these four walls. And yeah, I brought up my disappointment that, a lot of the stuff was just not just in English. The paperwork that was like most of the boards that were set up for comments, they were all in English. The paper that said the public open house, it was all in English. And I'd like to think that those are very important conversations that I would have liked to participate in. And I would have just been out of luck if I didn't know something as simple as English. And that's what I want to express my discontent with, that it is so hard to participate in the situations like this, where it's very important that my perspective, so to speak, gets, my perspective gets acknowledged. And I like to, and I'm disappointed with how easy it is to just overlook somebody's like desire to do something, desire to participate, desire to have access to all of the more complex, for lack of a better word, inner workings of Amsterdam. And like something as simple as like a public open house is barring like a significant amount of people from participating just because they didn't have like open access to like simple, I guess it's hard to put into words, but that's what it keeps coming back to. It's hard to put into words how hard it is to participate in Amsterdam. And that's where like the core of like my discomfort and my discontent is, that I want to participate more in Amsterdam, but like where? Like I've seen through Facebook, like, you know, all of the hashtags, all of the you know, I've looked through some of the previous meetings and stuff like that, and like, where's the representation? Where's the representation for people that may not know enough English? Or where's the representation, or where's not the compensation, where the I guess where's the synergy in Amsterdam overall? Like there's so many barriers, like linguistic barriers for sure, but like there's so many participation barriers to get here that like I know I won't be able to summarize in like 1 5-minute like conversation here, but at the very least I do want to like bring up or open up that conversation of, are you really doing enough for the people of Amsterdam? Like, what's missing in this picture right now? I could spend the rest of my time detailing it, but I think it's easier to just observe.
Thank you.
Tell me one thing,
Yes.
what is missing?
What's missing?
Tell me one thing, what's missing?
What's
I'm
missing?
trying to follow you, but go ahead.
It's a Spanish representation
Yes,
of the city.
yes, but
Yeah.
that's just one step in like a much larger,
All right.
because like.
Is that your main?
Like for me, like Spanish, yes, but I can also tell that like there's probably some Asians that might have the same,
Of course.
or some Italians that might have the same, you know, it's kind of,
I would tell you that if you do have some suggestions for us accomplishing what
Thank
you're
you.
accomplishing, put them down in writing and submit it to us. I'll be happy to share them with the council, and you can discuss them in length. But it's difficult to answer questions and make your presentation. Please write it down.
yes.
We'll take a look at it. Thank you
And
very
I
much.
guess that is one of them, like, at the very least, I wanted to know that like this like connection can be made of like, oh, okay, now I can put my efforts into like putting something on paper down and then presenting it. And like that in and of itself is like this weird, I guess another barrier of like access, not so much like linguistic per se. Like for me, like the Spanish is like important to me, but that concept can be stretched out to just about any other language or discipline or quite frankly, way of life, to be honest.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Get back to this. We did the clerk's report. Our controller's not here this evening. We did our engineering
Does anyone
report.
else?
Does anyone else want to speak?
I'm sorry. Is there anyone else? I'm sorry. Did I? Okay. All right, so we've done these reports that I just went through, and there is no old business, correct?
No.
So we are on to new business, if we could read the resolutions.
Resolution 2526-159, resolution adopting minutes from last common council meeting by Alderwoman Collins.
Thank you.
So moved.
Can we call the roll?
Yes,
Call the roll.
please.
Okay. Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman
All
Marticello.
right,
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution 2526-160, resolution strongly urging immediate review of electric delivery charges, demanding improved cost controls and transparency, and authorizing formal complaints to the New York State Public Service Commission regarding the escalating cost of electricity by Alderman Carpenter. Whereas residents,
Did we read the whole thing first?
It's up to you.
Before we read the whole thing first, I'd like to make a motion to strike the be it further resolved on the last paragraph on the first page. We can strike that.
So let's take a vote on the amended resolution now.
Let's vote on the motion.
On the motion.
On the motion. That's what I meant. Okay, there's been a motion to amend the resolution. Can we vote on that? Call the roll, please.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Thank you, Chris.
Whereas residents, seniors, and small businesses in the city of Amsterdam are experiencing unsustainable, repeated, and compounding increase in electric bills that are placing a growing financial strain on households and the local economy. And whereas a substantial portion of these increases is attributable not to increased energy consumption, but to escalating delivery charges, fees, and approved rate adjustments imposed by NYSEG. And whereas electric delivery charges and rate structures are regulated and approved by the New York State Public Service Commission, which is statutorily charged with ensuring that utility rates are just, reasonable, and affordable for ratepayers. And whereas the Common Council has received numerous complaints from residents who are struggling to afford basic electric service and who have expressed serious concern regarding the frequency, magnitude, and lack of transparency surrounding recent and ongoing rate increases. And whereas rural and low-density communities such as the city of Amsterdam are disproportionately impacted by delivery charge increases, and cost recovery mechanisms that fail to adequately account for affordability, equity, and the cumulative burden placed on ratepayers. And whereas the Common Council finds that continued approval of rate increases without stronger cost controls, greater transparency, and meaningful affordability protections is unacceptable and contrary to the public interest. Now therefore be it resolved that the Common Council of the City of Amsterdam formally and strongly urges the New York State Public Service Commission to conduct a thorough and immediate review of electric delivery charges, rate increases, and cost recovery practices applicable to NYSEG customers. And be it further resolved that the Common Council of the City of Amsterdam, upon the Public Service Commission, to prioritize ratepayer affordability, demand greater transparency from NYSEG, and require demonstrable cost containment and operational efficiency measures for approving any future rate increases. And be it further resolved that the Common Council of the City of Amsterdam expressly opposes continued or automatic rate increases that shift rising operational, infrastructure, and administrative costs onto ratepayers without clear justification or adequate protection for rural communities. And be it further resolved that the city clerk is directed to transmit copies of this resolution to the New York State Public Service Commission, NYSEG, the Governor of New York State, members of the New York State Legislature, and neighboring municipalities served by NYSEG, and to encourage coordinated action among affected municipalities. And be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption.
Thank you. Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Thank you, Alderman.
Thank you.
Resolution number 2526-161, resolution authorizing request for proposals for concessionaire services at Veterans Park by Alderman Holliday.
That's good. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Pretty straightforward. We spoke about this in the Cal. Thank you. You can call the roll.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-162, resolution referring the 2026 comprehensive plan update to the City Planning Commission and Montgomery County Planning Board and declaring intent to act as a lead agency under seeker by Alderwoman Collins.
Okay, go down to the now therefore.
Now therefore be it resolved that the Common Council hereby defers the draft 2026 Comprehensive Plan Update to the City of Amsterdam Planning Commission and the Montgomery County Planning Board for their review and recommendations. And be it further resolved that the Common Council declares its intent to serve as lead agency for the seeker review of this action and authorizes the circulation of a notice of intent to act as the lead agency to all involved agencies. And be it further resolved that the city clerk is directed to submit the plan to the respective planning bodies and initiate the required 30-day review period.
So moved. Call roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution 2526-163, resolution approving audit by Alderwoman Collins.
The order is fine. Any questions? Call the roll.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Resolution number 2526-164, consent, resolution budget transfer, clerk's office computer by Alderman Marticello.
So moved, just read the last whereas clause.
Whereas the city clerk's budget has enough funds to cover the $1,419.38 cost. However, a transfer is necessary to move the funds from contractual expense line to the equipment line so the purchase can be made from the appropriate budget line.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Alderman Carpenter.
Okay, so tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at Central Civico, we have that meeting for the project to repave.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock, excuse me. Don't show up at 6, it'll be over by then. The repaving of Main Street, right, Dan, you wanna?
Yeah, that's, we're just gonna go over what the plans are for East Main Street over the next few years.
Great.
That's it, I have nothing else.
Motion to adjourn?
Alderman Carpenter.
Aye.
Alderman Marticello.
Aye.
Alderwoman Quistamars.
Aye.
Alderman
Sorry.
Holliday.
Aye.
Alderwoman Collins.
Aye.
Thank you very much, council.
Thank you.